Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman. Now I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. Now, since vacation, I've really not been very good on Throwback Thursdays or doing theater throwbacks. So on this Throwback Thursday, as we wrapped up all the movies that I saw on vacation, I thought it would be appropriate to finish catching up on the movies I've seen since I was back. And this first one is one I'm just dying to talk about because, wow, man, like this became one of my sleeper favorites of the year so far. And when you hear the words come out of my mouth on what movie it is, you're going to go, interesting. Really? Yes, really, man. This thing, it was such a wonderful surprise. I can't wait to talk about it. So why don't you pull up a chair, man, take a seat. We're getting ready to dive in spoiler free into Dora and the Lost City of Gold. That's right. I am talking about the live action Dora the Explorer movie right now. And it is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's absolutely wonderful. And I myself am an older brother. I have, a fairly large kind of a family and an interesting mixture. I have two biological siblings that are younger than me. We have an adopted little sister, and before we adopted her, we'd had three infant foster care, like year and a half, 2 year stints with three different kids. And when you have that many kids younger than you literally grow up with every iteration of entertainment for children, young to older. And you know me, I am a nostalgia like kid at heart, and it's hard to overcome what I grew up with when I grew up with Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. But when it comes to like kids programming, there were some really, really good things as I was kind of getting too old for that stuff that I got to keep my hand in and eyes on with all of my siblings. And Dora the Explorer was one of those. And it was a wonderful thing to see because in a country where, there are a lot of Hispanic, people and a lot of people who speak Spanish, to have a show that highlights that culture and that language and teaches Americans and kids who speak English, even Hispanic kids who speak English, how to speak Spanish. It was just such a wonderful concept, and then the delivery of the show was just brilliant. Really, really simple half-hour cartoon where you have a little girl named Dora who has a backpack that can talk and a map that can talk and a friend who's a monkey named Boots that can talk, and she has a cousin, Diego, who's a human, so he can talk. And there's a bad fox who steals things, and his name is Swiper, and he can talk. And, because it's a kid show. But basically, Swiper steals something, they have to go chase him. They use map to get around. And as you go, you learn different things, whether it be language or cultural aspects. And then you get to the resolution by the end of the show. Really quick, really simple, and just really, really solid for little kids. And it was wonderful to watch my younger siblings, watch this stuff and, go, yo soy whoever, or things that they learned in Spanish. So as someone who has watched Dora the Explorer a lot over the years, I was fascinated to see a live action version of it come to life and see how they would pull it off. And massive credit has to go to Nicholas Stoller and Matthew Robinson, who wrote the screenplay, because they blend the cartoon on Nickelodeon with the live action concept so perfectly. Like, mild spoiler, they found a way to make the cartoon canon. That's all I'm going to say. What you've watched with the cartoon is canon to the story in the movie, and the way they tie that into the Dora character and how, she's kind of isolated off in the jungle like she is in the cartoon. And, she gets to pal around with Diego a bunch, but in the movie, Diego, goes on to high school, when his parents move. And when Dora's parents go on this adventure for, the search of the Lost City of Gold, she's about in high school. And they decide to send her to Diego's high school so they can go and do what they got to do, exploring. And when you take that isolated character of Dora and apply all the things from the cartoon as a character to her, and then insert her into the high school realm, it's like a magic trick to watch it function and function so well. And then how Dora, ingests and then, puts out everything in the movie. It's wonderful to watch. And you get this wonderful growth for Dora's character from the time that she's in the jungle to the time that she's, been with kids for a little bit in the high school. and you kind of get excited for her character in the movie. It's fun to watch. But it was just a wonderful blend, and I just didn't expect it to work that way. And then mix in the fact that it really does function quite well. It's like an Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider type movie, and actually kind of a decent blend of those movies and some of the things that we see. But the way they kind of take that action and stuff and apply it to this cartoon character in this live format, it just works wonderfully. And James Bobbin, who directed, really has a good grasp on what to do here. He directed the Muppets movie that Jason Segel was in, and then also wrote the sequel to that, and has worked, with movies that are kid targeted, but also need to work for adults. And when your audience here are probably the kids who watched the show as little kids that are now older, he just has a really good grasp on making it feel like a bigger movie, but never losing the heart of the character. And I just absolutely love that stuff. And then when you have this absolutely wonderful cast to bring it to life, oh man, dude, like Isabella Moner is Dora the Explorer. I don't know how else to say it. Like, she's absolutely wonderful. And like I said, she's got these quirky elements to her character and the way she looks at things and how she copes with different things because she grew up isolated for so long, and how she plays with the things that she would have done and played as a kid with Diego to now an older world is just wonderful. And like I said, it nails the character, but then you also get to see this wonderful growth so that by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're excited for the character and you're excited for more movies where we can watch a grown-up Dora go on these adventures. And mixing her into the story of getting kidnapped, which we've seen in the trailers, and then trying to find her parents, which lead to this kind of explorer situation to get us to the Lost City of Gold, like kind of lore and things that they're looking for. She just nails everything from the action to the humor to the character, and it's wonderful to watch. And Jeff Wahlberg, who plays Diego, is a really wonderful supporting character for her because, he left the jungle, grew up in high school, and high school is a tough place. So now you got this weird cousin. How does that all play for Diego? And then you get this wonderful growth for Diego's character. And Jeff Wahlberg really nails it. And it was wonderful to watch these two actors encapsulate these two, kid cartoon characters so well. And then surround them with the two schoolmates who get, kidnapped with them. This girl, Sammy, who's played by Madeline Madden, and Randy, who's played by Nicholas Coombe. One, it creates just a really diverse mixture of talent on screen. And they play so well together. So you get this diverse look on screen with these four kids. And what Sammy and Randy stand for, as far as like, Sammy is kind of what the school is as far as looking at Dora and also looking at Diego. And Randy just kind of likes that Dora's kind of quirky because he's kind of quirky. And you mix all four of these characters together and have them go through this wonderful adventure. You get really, really good performances from all four kids. And Madeline Madden and Nicholas Coombe, I just love what they add and how their characters grow by the end of the movie, and then how that affects the world that surrounds Dora at high school, which is where you lead to this kind of really wonderful number during the credits that involves a good amount of the school, and it's just this bright, colorful, wonderful, fun sequence that you just sit there and you go, man, like, I've spent 90 minutes watching this diverse group of characters who all have different like points of view and at times are very antagonistic in ways toward each other, be able to overcome all of those differences, come together to accomplish really great things. And you just see this beautiful, wonderful, like, this world could exist. And I sat in the theater, just eyes streaming, because this was right around the shootings at Dayton and El Paso. And, like, you think about how dark the world is in real life, and then you see this, and you're like, that's what it should be. And it's not that hard to get there. And that message being baked into the movie, along with, all of those other ones I just mentioned, and the adventure of the movie, it's so wonderful. And then you're not done, right? Like, it's not just the kids. You also get Eugenio Derbez in there, who plays this guy who knows Dora's parents, named Alejandro. And he's the perfect character to have with this group of four kids for the whole movie, because Derbez, in the way he acts and is personality-wise, is really a kid at heart and acts that way. So he's the perfect adult to have with this group of kids because he meshes so well. And the story that he has and where his character goes and the twists and turns that plays into the movie, again, just elevate everything else that the kids are doing. And then you throw in Danny Trejo as Boots the monkey and Benicio del Toro as Swiper the fox, and how those two characters play within the real world versus, where we came from at the beginning, where, Dora's a kid and coming off of the cartoon. Again, wonderful mixture and usage of the two, and I love those two guys. And then you also have Eva Longoria and Michael Pena playing Dora's parents, and it's a huge cast of wonderful actors, and you have these veterans that are great veterans that are surrounding these younger actors who just deliver a really, really wonderful movie experience. And you sit there and you just go, one great message for kids, right? About, like I said, overcoming differences and coming together and achieving great things, whether it be a school project or an adventure or things like that, mixed in with the fun and the humor and the fact that the movie is a Dora the Explorer movie to a T. It nails everything and makes the cartoon canon. For me, Dora and the Lost City of Gold was absolutely fantastic. 2 thumbs up, man. I really, really enjoyed the movie. And like I said, the humor is really fun and funny, and this cast, their chemistry is just so good on screen. They all work so well. I highly, highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. But if you have, or if you haven't, have I enticed you to want to check out the Dora the Explorer movie? I hope so. And if you have or haven't seen it, let me know what you're thinking about the movie. If you have seen it, what did you like, dislike? Did you grow up with Dora the Explorer? Are you familiar with the cartoon, maybe as an older sibling role? And what did you like about the adaptation to the screen? What worked, didn't work? Who was your favorite character? What were you just kind of taken away from this movie? Everything you're thinking goes down below in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the old C-Man, you know what you gotta do. You gotta go hit that little subscribe button and the bell that follows so you get alerts every time I make a new video. That's it, man. For the C-Man Cinema Sit-Down, I'm the C-Man, and I'm signing off. Peace! Well, you guys are still here. You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. C-Man's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the C-Man goodies, join the Cinema Sit-Down squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.